Hey YouTubers, RC Mike back with you here with Brian. Brian's finished the build
Finally.
on the RC 4-wheel drive Trailfinder 2. Um, as far as building, was this kit easier or more difficult than other ones you've put together?
Uh, Tad easier. I didn't have to build this, the axles, so
So a lot of the pieces and components were already together, which was kind of nice.
except you had to thread lock everything,
Right.
which slows down,
The upside to having some of the pieces together is not having to build them. However, when you do build a kit, the idea of building a kit is to put everything together yourself, so you know how it went together and you know what the parts look like and how they all went together, and you also get a lot of satisfaction out of building it yourself. We did take apart this transmission just to see what kind of gears were in there. There's all steel gears in there. I was very impressed with their tranny and their shifting mechanism. The forks that drive that gear back and forth are quite nice, and the way it goes into the high and low gear are very durable. There's no plastic pieces in there, which a lot of other manufacturers use. I did take that apart and grease everything. There was minimal grease in there, which I did add a little bit more in there. We didn't take the transfer case apart yet. It seemed pretty decent.
Yeah.
I did pull apart the rear drive axle, this differential, just to see what that was all about. Real nice, again, real nice parts.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, then very scale axles, front and back, leaf springs. I like the rails, that's real nice. Some of the things that we have concerns with, as of every car we do, we have a tendency to try to tear it apart and fix it before we've even ran it. We've built a few cars in our day, so sometimes we know right away when something's going to be not quite adequate or a problem. One of the things with this truck that will be a little bit of an issue will be the suspension. In its stock form with the 1.5 tires, the body sits pretty low. We're not going to run these tires. We're going to run something a little bigger. These are very scale looking. However, when you're on the rocks and you're out there on the trail, they tend to be a little bit too small and you get hung up on just about everything.
Yeah, probably too small for our taste, so
Right.
yeah.
So we're going to run a 1.9, which is going to put the tire all the way up into the wheel wells up in here. So we're going to have to raise this suspension a little bit.
Here's the difference.
Yeah, this is a 1.55 and that's 1.9.
Very big difference.
Pretty substantial difference. These are cool, but they're just a little bit too small for your standard trail truck. Everything else runs a 1.9. I don't know why 4-wheel drive decided to use these 1.5s. They're really neat rims. They're beadlock. The tires are cool, but that's just a little bit too small for us. So the suspension's going to have to be raised. We've been kind of tweaking it a little bit. So when we get it raised up, put the new tires on it, we'll give you a look at that. Another thing that I would have liked to have seen was these bumpers are plastic, front and back. We're going to add a little winch on the front, and it's pre-drilled and prepared for a winch.
Nice.
So this little winch will fit right on there and it'll bolt right up. These don't pull very hard. However, this does have a little more flex than I would have liked to have seen, and I suspect that we may end up breaking this thing off if we're working it hard. So we'll have to see how that goes. But and then of course the 48 pitch the 32 pitch gear that it comes with is those gears run loud. I replaced it with a 48, which is going to give me a lot lower gearing. I can put a smaller pinion on here. The 48 pitch are just way quieter. They sound a lot better. And with the 2-speed tranny, you still have the low gear, which is what you want. You want that thing to crawl, and then of course you've got the second speed to go faster. I expect the truck to go plenty fast, even with the lower gearing that we have here. So the whole idea is it's not a race truck, it's a trail truck. So yeah, anything faster than about a fast walk is really too fast. And when you're trying to go over the rocks and stuff with a truck that's really not designed to scream over it, it can just get frustrating. So we want that real low gearing, and this tranny I think will give us the low and the high. So that's a big plus.
Yeah.
Another issue with the truck is it's definitely not your beginner vehicle. When we get into putting the body together and putting it onto the vehicle, everything's great until
You have to change the battery.
you have to change the battery. You've got a screw here and here and 2 body clips, which is a little out of the norm. Normally you have a screwed on body, or you have a body
Or
with
clip.
body clips, right? So to get this body off,
Yeah, both this time.
you got 2 clips and 4 screws, 2 here and 2 on the other side. So what we're going to do, let me see one of those batteries, is eliminate this post here so that we don't have that screw there. And the battery's going to sit in here, which is right in the middle. And when you put this in here, we thought about hinging the bed, but the battery is still underneath the cab too. So I'm not terribly thrilled about that, but we're going to put a body post stud on the end of this and here, so we'll have 2 body posts here and 2 body posts here. So, and then eliminate this one. With the rigid body, there should be no need that we are going to require this screw and this one. So we'll just put the body pin here and the 2 back here, and that should fix that problem. But as the way the truck comes, if you're going to change your battery, you're going to take out all those screws here and here and here, pull it off, put your new battery in. You're talking at least 5 minutes just to put a new battery in, plus tools, and that's kind of a pain. These batteries will run a long time, but we still like to be able to get in there. And
Like, if the battery, you think you charged it, it's not, it's dead. So you just put on
Yeah,
your body and you're driving and you notice that the car's dead.
yeah, we've over the years accidentally put in a dead battery plenty of times. You
Yeah.
know? So you got a pocket full of batteries and you're trying to remember which ones are good and which ones are bad, and you end up putting in a dead one. And with this car, getting to that thing is kind of a pain. Another issue with lipos is if you do have a lipo fire, you want to get that battery out as quick as possible. And
Yeah.
with this car, you're going to sit there and watch it burn to the ground by the time you get the body off. So to me, that's a big issue. Being able to get the body off quick enough to get that battery out, should there be a problem. So that's definitely a negative with this vehicle, but we're going to try and show you how to remedy that. And then, of course, remedy the smaller tires. And a lot of people are going to run these tires as is, and if they want to go ultimate scale,
That's cool.
that's what they are. However, it's really not to our liking. We want to run the 1.9s. We would have liked to have seen 1.9 rims and tires with this kit.
And with these big tires on there, it looks like a beast.
Right, it does. It looks way, way better. We've already mocked it up with the tires that we pulled off another car, and it looks just way, way better. It looks like a mean truck with a lift on it, and it's going to be way more capable. We still want to leave the leaf springs. We've got SCX 10s, and those are cool with the 4 links, and that's neat. But we want to keep the leaf springs.
Yeah, if we put a 4-link on the truck, it gets rid of the purpose of buying this truck.
Right. Right. And with the leaf spring truck, you don't end up with a lot of articulation. However, that can be tuned to be better, but it does take a little effort. And we'll be doing a little bit of that. We've got a couple of problems. We want to lift it, which is going to require us to stiffen it, and we still want a little more articulation than what we have. So we're going to try and fix those things, but other than that, we're real excited about this kit. This is we've been waiting for this one a long time, and it's gonna go into our collection quite nicely. So hopefully the next video will be with the body on, maybe primed, and the new tires and rims, and maybe some electronics. But the build is very simple. It's easy compared to almost every car we've put together.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward. We built it box stock, which is lots of times we try to modify it before we even get it out on the trail, you know. But we did this one box stock this time, and we can already see issues that we're going to have before we even run it. So we're going to fix those and move on. And so anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.